we are for that third segment, talking about the talking point on this show. We will be looking at HRM benefit organization. A lot of issues have been arising in regards to limited function in the company, which we are doing a lot of manual work. However, times have changed, whereby the mindset is also changing. Organizations realize that investment in people will give them long-term returns. Hence, focus of HRM was on dealing with people on how decisions are going to affect their productivity. So HRM significantly benefit organizations who understand how to enhance their employee or their staff performance, fostering a positive work environment and aligning human capital with strategic goals. Effective HRM practices lead to increased productivity, reduced turnover, and improved employee engagement and better compliance with regulation. Ultimately, the contribution of HRM can never be underestimated because it is the success by optimizing the use of human resources. In essence, effective HRM is not just about managing employees, but about strategically leveraging human capital to achieve organizational goals, foster positive work environment, and ensure long-term successes. Joining me on the show today is Ikenna Okafor, Head of Human Resources and Corporate Services of COMO Consults Ltd. here in Abuja, who will be helping us to understand the dynamics around human resources in terms of engaging your staff in a productive way, and not just engaging them alone, but creating an atmosphere of a friendly and very peaceful environment in workplace. So we'll be helping us also understand the challenges in this sector. How come sometimes they are headlong when it comes to industrial relationship? We don't always blame HR expert or HR staff for not covering enough when industrial disputes arise in an organization. Then what about manpower planning? How are they going to be getting that done? When you talk about manpower planning, it's about the responsibility that HR department takes solemnly by themselves. So how are we going to achieve this altogether? Joining me right now is Ikenna. A very good day to you, Ikenna. All right, I can see you very well, but I can't hear you. All right, I can hear you now. A very good day to you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for having me today.
All right, now. So let's get started. As an expert of HRM, take us through the journey so far in terms of what HRM really entails, because some people normally confuse this with some other terminology, but from your own understanding as an expert, what does HRM really entails in organization?
All right. Thank you so much. Before now, HR was not so much sorted by so many persons, but in today's Nigeria, the HR became most sorted just after the 2020 COVID-19. Businesses began to shut down. Businesses needed to get out of the quagmire they found themselves. Most businesses began to relieve staff of their duties. Some other businesses decided, okay, how to keep them, and what do we actually do? What's the way out? And that was when most organizations began to sort not just their business strategies, not just their finance persons, but head of HRs. So HR, in a very, very simple form, is how you systematically manage people to achieve and align with your organizational objectives. How you drive performance through people, how you compete with your competitors using people. In business, you are not just competing based on market share in terms of sales. You're also competing to get the best hands. Okay, you are competing to get the best talent. So HR, not just as a people now as a department, as a strategic department, becomes very important that you have this in place to be able to match, to be able to make sales, to be able to keep your business door open. All right. So that is just a brief of how HR became very pronounced in Nigeria. But however, it's a very old phenomenon. Before now, we had what is called personnel departments. Before now, and even down to the Industrial Revolution. Okay, where the concern was just make people to work, make people to get a penny or a pound or a naira at the end of the day. But today, HR quick metamorphosed to even trying to make people feel safe in your work environment. work-life balance, and so many concepts have come into the HR. So HR is now taking a very broader perspective, becoming not just business partners, but human partners in business to make profit as well.
Exactly. I love the way you put it. Business, not just business partner, but human partner to make your organization more fitting and more productive. But there's one aspect of human HR that many people also would like to understand. The manpower planning. What does it really connote? Because manpower planning to some people is like getting muscle men around or something like that. But from your own understanding as an expert, what does manpower planning really entails in HR?
Okay, the name is, HR is, it's just as explained.
Exactly.
Manpower plan, how you plan the manpower. So in this context, when we say manpower, it doesn't mean just man alone, okay? So it means the human resource planning. How do you plan your talents? How do you manage your talents? In Nigeria, for instance, let's take the health sector. There is large number of emigration of our talents out. So what those in the health sector have done, in the health sector have done is that they are going to map out like, how do we get people? How do we get, so there is this partnership with hospitals, with high institutions. My organization, for instance, we are partnering with several organizations to get their best brains before they japa. Okay, so you're anticipating that, okay, what is really going to happen based on production? Do we have manpower? Do we have do we have the required talent? Do we have the required skills? Is the environment to our advantage? Are we going to get a situation where we'll get stuck with talent? Are we going to get a situation where we will not be able to meet our market need because we don't have manpower? So you need to match your manpower and your resources. So you may have funds, but you don't have. We've seen situations where organizations have so much funds to pay, but a position is open for a very long time. Why? I think such organizations have not done proper manpower planning to anticipate that gap may occur. So manpower planning is the ability to marry your resources, be it your raw material, be it your cash and any other resources you have, with your human resource, anticipating that what may go wrong and how to correct it in future. Okay, that's what manpower planning is it is in a very literal sense.
Exactly. Now let's talk about the issue of building culture and value. It's very important that every organization build the culture and value in their setting. But in your own understanding as an expert, are we really achieving that by most organizations, building culture and value of those organizations for their employee?
The problem is that most people think culture is just about HR. Culture starts from the top, from the leadership of the organization to the bottom. HR is just a driver. So if a business owner have a wrong notion of what culture is, then it's going to rub off on his business. If a business owner have a character problem, integrity problem, disloyalty problem to himself as a person based on character, that culture is going to bring it into his own business, and that business, it will affect every other staff. If you see somebody who is very liberal, the liberality is going to affect how the person handles his or her business. So culture is not just about HR. Culture it starts from the top, like I said, from the CEO, the MDs, to the management staff, to your cleaners, to your gateman, and every other boys. But we need to be very, very watchful about organizational culture, because we have a saying in HR that culture is going to can eat strategy 2 times a day. Very fast. I'm just trying to make you understand how culture is. Culture is very deep. Culture are your shared values, your mission, your vision, your core values, what you stand for. Has kept you in business. Well, some cultures might need to be changed over time. That is being done by organization doesn't mean that it's right. Okay. But however, what I'm saying is that culture is first initiated by business owner, while HR drives culture through people. And HR does not drive it as a person, but through the business unit heads, through the heads of department, and through every other person who leads, be it supervisor or as the case may be.
Exactly. Before I let you go, because we have less than a minute or two, about conflict management of HR is very key to any organization. What do you take from there? Conflict management, avoiding industrial relation dispute and the rest of them comes all the way from conflict management. But what's your take on conflict management in this respect?
Wherever one or two humans are, there must be conflicts.
That's true.
Conflict itself is as old as the Bible. For my Christian brethren, in Genesis chapter 2, conflicts have started even from the Bible, okay? From God and man, and even man within yourself, you're in conflict with your thoughts, okay? So conflict is there. So that's why we really just try to manage conflict. And
all right, I know because of time, I may not be able to take it on for that long, but I want to appreciate you for coming on the show. It's a developing issue. We need to exploit this discussion once again, but I will get back to you on that. But thank you for so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. Some other time.
All right, now. So take care of yourself. Thank you.
Bye for now.
All right. I've been speaking with Ikenna to be an HR expert, having done so much in that regard, but helping us understand the benefit of it to employee. Then from Theodora or two, wherefore help us to dissect the aspect of startup ecosystem in Nigeria from the angle of government, helping us on invest in youth of Nigeria. This will be the size of the show today. It will come your way next. I want to say thank you for staying tuned to ADBN right from the daybreak of today. You're watching our Morning Express show, down to our Sport Crew show, and Nigeria Data today. Now here we are watching the market report. Next will be Softline. Then after that comes Global Digest. I say stay tuned to watch all these other programs coming up on the dial of ADBN television. Till we see you again, I am Adefala Alamlikon. See you soon. Bye.